Welcome everybody to our Midweek Exhale. My name is Sharyn with a Y, and I am one half of the Exhale Awakening. And somewhere else on your screen, you will see Marie, who is the other half of the Exhale Awakening. And all of our sessions promote rest and relaxation, and an opportunity for you um, to restore and sometimes to reflect and to sometimes to reflect and to just allow just allow life to present itself to you to see what's arising. We have just one rule here in our breathworks, and that is to be comfortable. So please take care of your physical comfort. We're going to invite you to do this breathwork either seated or lying down. But we are going to invite you to have your neck supported, your head supported, so that you can really relax into the session and you can just let your body have some time off holding you. Let the surface that you are supported by hold you for a while. And in that being comfortable physically, if that means that you need to move, if that means that, there's no need to be in a meditation pose where you don't move throughout this whole thing. If you feel the need to move, to make yourself more comfortable, then we invite you to do that throughout the session. The only thing that we would potentially ask you not to do is to stand up, or at the very least to stand up quickly. We know that you're at home, the doorbell may go, you may have to deal with something in the house. But if that is the case, just take a moment before you get up to make sure that you kind of have full faculties of your body, full control of your body again, and that you're not a little dizzy or a little disoriented, just so that you don't fall and hurt yourself. Now, our invitation may be to be comfortable, but we are also really clear that this is breath work, and sometimes that takes us to the edges of our comfort. We'll never ask you to push through that. We'll never ask you um, to push harder. That's not the way that we work. What we suggest when you get to your edges, the edges of your comfort, is that you just stay there with awareness. You bring your awareness to it. We call it sitting with it, just being aware of it, recognizing that it's there, acknowledging it, and staying there for a little while to see what happens. Now, sometimes that is enough for whatever it is that feels uncomfortable to naturally move. We don't always need big cathartic experiences to move things. Sometimes just awareness is enough. Sometimes it's not. And sometimes as you sit with it, the discomfort might increase. And at that point, the choice is always yours, whether you sit with it for a little longer, you sit with it and go deeper with it, or whether you kind of step away from that, come back to your comfort zone, and just bring your breath back to your natural rhythm, and let the discomfort subside before you go back into the breath. Both of those are both of those are welcome as strategies here. Um, you know, we we would say that true change happens at the pace of trust. So if you feel uncomfortable, then any any cathartic experience that you have or any experience that you push may not stay with you. It might be a blip rather than something that you're gradually unfolding or moving into. Our sessions always follow, or these sessions particularly, always follow the same pattern. We offer you 4 different breathwork styles, and we offer those in a particular way. So we start with some birdsong. We then move into a period of breath, one of the breath styles, to music, and then we finish with 2 minutes of silence. Now, we use those 2 things purposefully. The birdsong The birdsong helps our nervous system to relax and mimics safety. Our ancestors knew that if the birds were singing, the predators were not around, because obviously when the predators came in, the birds would disappear and find safety. So we still have that imprint in our DNA. We still have that imprint in our cells. So it gives our nervous system the message that it's okay and it's safe to be here. We do share the details about the breath style at the say over the birdsong. The birdsong doesn't need to be fully listened to as a track. It's okay as background. So in that time, we will share with you the different breaths that we're going to invite you to in the next session. The silence allows our body to rest in a way that we call active rest, conscious rest. And it allows the body to do the unconscious things that it doesn't get a chance to do when we're really busy. Now, a lot of these we do when we're sleeping, but if we bring silence into our everyday, it allows our body to do some of those things in little chunks throughout the day. So we're going to do that throughout this session. One of those unconscious things that it allows us to do is it allows the creation of new neural pathways, which I love. I think the fact that we can, as adults, create new neural pathways is a great thing to support. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, the breaths we're going to do today, you don't have to remember this. We're gonna guide you in this. The breaths that we're going to invite you to today, we're going to do some breath awareness to start with a particular focus on grounding and rooting. There is a theme, a thread running through our breaths today of breathing with the oak tree. We have a longer breath work that we do on the second Sunday of the month, which is Sunday coming. And our theme for this one is the Celtic tree calendar, the oak. And so in this session, we're going to just introduce you to that and just give you the opportunity to breathe with the oak tree. So the first one, awareness, is going to be that grounding and that rooting. The second breath we're going to do is slow and deep. So giving you that sense of the sovereignty and the strength and the wide trunk of an oak. And then we're going to breathe between earth and sky. So recognizing the rootedness and the space in the sky that the oak occupies. Before we go into a gentle coherence breath at the end, just to integrate and settle the whole breath work. I think I've covered everything. I've done things in a different order to the order I normally do them. So I'm just checking. I've got a little nod from Marie. So I've covered everything off there. So I'm going to invite you to make yourself comfortable. So as I said, supporting your head, feeling fully supported in your body so you can relax into the session. Doing this either seated or lying down. You might want some water with you or a drink of some sort with you. Again, feel free to take care of every element of your comfort. If you feel thirsty, take a drink. You also may or may not, depending where you are in the world, you may not need a blanket or layers of clothing that you can put on or take off. Just taking care of your temperature. I did a breath work on Monday and forgot my blanket because I thought I was warm enough, and by the end I was a little cold. So regardless of how you feel now, just kind of think about what you might need for the next 40 minutes or so. So all of that being said, and just taking a look around to the people I can see, I think we are ready. So let's just begin to turn our attention to our breath. And first, just for a little while, let the music, the sound of the birds, just bathe you. Imagining yourself perhaps in a place you've been before, where you've heard the birds and you've felt a settling in your system. Just begin to turn your attention to your breath. Being aware of how you're feeling just right now. You've had a day so far. Maybe you've had a week so far. And with every inhale, just acknowledging the day or the week that you've had. And with every exhale, perhaps just letting it go. And the letting go doesn't need to be forever, it can be just for now. And if whatever you've brought with you needs to be revisited, that's okay. Just reassure yourself that you can come back to it. And noticing the support that you're receiving from whatever surface you're seated or lying upon. Notice the comfort. Imagine it rising up to meet you. And notice how little effort you have to make to be there. And then come back to your breath again. Perhaps it might be a little slower than it was when you first settled down. Or perhaps not, and you might like to consciously slow the breath just a little. Again, another way of letting your body know that you're fine. It's okay to be here. Maybe allow or intend even that every breath allows you to settle just a little bit more. Allows you to access another place of calm. Little bit at a time. Bringing calm to your body, to your mind, the way that you feel. And as we begin to explore our connection to the trees, our connection to the earth, perhaps imagining your own roots, your own connection to the earth, maybe as a place where you feel particularly rooted and established. Maybe there's a person who signifies that for you, or perhaps a memory. Or maybe you can just imagine energetic roots leaving the soles of your feet, if your feet are on the floor. Or leaving whatever part of your body is connected to the surface. Just allowing those roots to bury deeper into the surface of the earth with every breath. And as we move into the first period of silence, perhaps letting that imagination continue, or perhaps letting it go and just resting for a while.
And as the birdsong brings the silence to a close, just reflecting on what that silence felt. Maybe it felt really long, or maybe it felt like it was over in a blink, and just noticing either way. And in our next segment, we're going to begin to bring the breath deep into our body. So before we begin that, just connecting with your breath and noticing where your breath's landing right now. Maybe it's your chest, or maybe it's further down. Maybe you can feel it lower down at the bottom of your lungs. And if you can't feel it, just place a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly. Just notice which is moving. And when the music begins, I'm going to invite you to bring your breath to the very bottom of your lungs. And when you bring your breath to the bottom of your lungs, you may feel your belly moving, but I want you to focus on your sides in this segment. So the sides of your ribs. And if it helps, again, just place your hands there. And as you take that breath deep into the bottom of your lungs, notice if you can feel that movement in your sides where your ribs are expanding to make space. And it's okay if you can only notice a little small movement. Focusing on bringing that breath deep into your lungs and feeling that expansion. And you might even feel a little tiny bit of movement in your back. Just noticing that too. Maybe being aware as you inhale of that breath going to the bottom of your lungs and expanding your body in all directions. The whole trunk of your body expanding on every inhale. And you don't need to fill your lungs to the top. Just bringing the breath deep into the lungs and noticing what that feels like. And if it's possible, bringing that breath in through your nose, if that's available to you right now. Bringing it into the very center of your core. And just as the oak tree has its solid trunk, you're breathing into your solid trunk too, and feel that strength as you breathe deep into your core. And keeping the breath slow and gentle. No rush, there's no need to push. Just slowly and gently inhaling deep into the bottom of your lungs. maybe if you did place your hands on your side, taking them away now and see, can you feel that movement without having your hands there? Bringing your awareness to your sides. Feel that strength in your trunk as you breathe deeply. Maybe you want to slow that breath down just a fraction. Maybe slowing down the inhale and then making the exhale that little bit longer. Still bringing the breath deep, deep down into your body. And soon we'll be going back into the silence, and maybe you'll continue to breathe deeply in the silence, and maybe you won't. But either way, just rest.
And as the birdsong begins again, just reflecting on how it felt in that silence. Now that you've breathed with two different styles of breath. Perhaps it felt different, or perhaps it felt the same. And both are okay. The invitation is simply to notice. And in this, our third breath style, we're going to invite you to breathe between earth and sky. So imagining the depths of the roots that you have into the land. Imagining the extent of your expression and your reach into the sky. Maybe imagining you're an oak tree for a little while. And on your inhale, which I invite through the nose, but whatever is comfortable for you. On your inhale, breathing up from your roots to your heart. And on your exhale, breathing from your heart up to the sky. And then in reverse, inhaling from the sky to your heart. And exhaling from your heart through the roots to the land. Standing between earth and sky. Finding your own rhythm and your own pace, but remembering the breath. Inhaling from the earth to your heart, from your heart to the skies, from the sky to your heart, and from your heart to the earth. Anchored between earth and sky. attention drifts, don't worry, just come back and start again. From earth to heart, from heart to sky, from sky to heart, from heart to earth. We're in our last minute now, so perhaps another round. And then allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And just noticing how you feel. And as we gently move into the silence, just allowing yourself to rest.
And as the birds bring the silence to a close once again, just taking a few moments to reflect on that silence. And maybe noticing, do the silences all feel the same? Or do they feel slightly different, or maybe completely different? And again, just noticing. And for our final breath segment, I'm going to invite you to coherence breathing, or harmonic breathing, or balanced breathing. And that just means that you match the length of your inhale with the length of your exhale. Again, if it's possible, breathing in and out through your nose. But if it's not, breathing in and out through your mouth. And maybe you'll count in your head as you breathe. Or maybe you use your fingers, bringing the tip of each finger to your thumb as you breathe. But equally, maybe you'll just set the intention and allow the body to bring the breaths into balance. And as we begin, we're all going to breathe 2 breaths together as a group, and I'll count them. So at the bottom of your next exhale, just taking a pause, and then inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And continuing with that, and you might continue with that rhythm, but you also that rhythm mightn't be right for you in this session. So for the first few breaths, just finding the rhythm now that suits you. And maybe you do coherence breathing regularly, but still leaning into the rhythm that suits you in this session. May not be the one you usually use. Keeping your breaths gentle and soft. There's no need to force or push to achieve any count. And if it feels like you're pushing, just maybe reduce it slightly. And maybe your focus has slipped. And that's okay, just bringing it gently back to your breath. And just checking in that your inhale and exhale are still the right length. Maybe you might need to extend each of them. But equally, maybe you might need to shorten each of them. maybe as your breaths are balanced, maybe you can feel that balance rippling out into your system, and just noticing if you do and noticing if you don't. We're almost in our last minute, so again, if your attention has drifted, just gently bringing it back to your breath. To those balanced breaths. And soon we'll be moving into the silence for the final time in this session. And maybe you'll bring the balanced breathing with you, and maybe you won't. But just resting.
And as the birdsong begins for what will be the last time in this session, spending the first little bit of this time reflecting. Perhaps on the periods of silence, perhaps on the whole session. Perhaps remembering how you arrived and how you feel now. And inviting you now to bring some gentle movement back into your body, to begin to feel again the connection between your body and the surface you're seated or lying down on. And perhaps stretching or flexing and beginning to prepare yourself for coming back into the Zoom room. So you might tap on different parts of your body or bring some gentle touch from hand to arm, maybe perhaps across your face, into your head and your scalp. And just begin the gentle process of finding your way back to the Zoom room.
And as you come back, and there really is no rush, I'm just going to draw your attention to our usual notices that we have in the chat if you're in the room, but also you'll be able to find them if you're not. So our recordings all go up on YouTube, and our YouTube channel link is there. But they also go up in our own community. You go up in the Exhale Library, and you can sign up there for free. You can sign up on that link free, and there are no ads in our community, so maybe it makes the recordings easier to access. When you click on the free link, you will notice the other tiers that we have in our community. And our first paid tier is called Acorns. And that's the active heartbeat really of our community, because that's where we hold each other in breath song throughout the month. So everybody who signs up to Acorns signs up to holding for just an hour and 11 minutes a month, just over one day. And we need 30 breath keepers so that every day is covered. So maybe you feel the call to do that, but there's more information on the link. We also have monthly breathwork sessions. We've already mentioned the one on Sunday, which is with the Celtic trees, and we're breathing with the oak tree. And our other one then is on the fourth Friday of each month, and we breathe with natural astrology on the fourth Friday. So they both have a slightly different flavour. And the link for more information and to buy a ticket for those is in the chat as well. And the last one is, as usual, our directory listing. So if you feel called to leave us a review, absolutely, we would love to get a review. But equally, if you want to contact us and you're not in our community, you can contact us there. And we always love getting feedback. So if maybe there are things you liked or things you didn't like, please feel free to get in contact with us and let us know. And yeah, we'd love you to get in contact with us. We're going to put off the recording in a second, but before we do that, just to say that you've just spent about 40 minutes breathing really consciously, and that can take a while to land in your system. So just over the next while, well, you should always take good care of yourself, but over the next while, being especially careful to stay hydrated and being especially gentle with what you do. Maybe having a journal where you can write things down if they arise, because yeah, sometimes things arise and we don't know what it's about, but when we write it down and come back to it, it is actually significant. But also eating nourishing food and getting outside if that's possible as well, into nature and feeling the air on your skin. but being gentle with yourself, and not just for the rest of whatever's left of your day, but even into the next couple of days. So we're going to turn off the recording. So thank you for having breathed with us. But we're going to open the room now